Today we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about what we call cabinetry nomenclature. Okay? And basically what the word nomenclature means, like fenestration, but I actually know this one, is that it is the way we call something out. Okay? So there's an industry, I guess they're not rules or such, but they're kind of like guidelines that companies modify a little bit here or there, but it's so small of a modification that you can figure it out. So we're going to be calling cabinets certain things, okay? We're going to talk about some basic kitchen layouts, and then we'll get into the cabinetry stuff, and then we'll move on to the kitchen and bath rules, okay? So any questions on where we're headed? All right, so there are lots of different kitchen types, okay, or layout types. We have your typical galley style, okay? I know. Nobody likes galley style because it's your typical apartment. You know, they bury it at the back. As soon as it comes up, we'll be good to go. So you've got your U shape. You've got your island type shape. You have your L shape. You've got your galley style where it's on either side and terminates. This is not a good example. Here we go. Okay, so you got your single line here, your L shape, your U shape, your galley style, or your island style. Now they're showing this with the various walls in place, but you can not, I mean, this could terminate with some kind of bar area, and they're showing sink and stove in certain locations, but they can be anywhere along that line, okay? Open that up so it keeps it for us. We don't need that one anymore. Now, one of the important things about a kitchen is the work triangle, okay? And we're going to talk about that with the kitchen and bath rules in a minute. But basically, the work triangle is the center of the three components, the three workstations in a kitchen: the cooking, the cleaning, and the refrigeration. Okay? So the center of the stove, the center of the sink, and the center of the refrigerator. Now, depending on which kitchen you have, is going to determine the work triangle. So this one has a very different work triangle from this L shape, because the L shape has the fridge and the sink on the same line. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? So lots of different ways to do it. The determination of which kitchen you use is going to be decided by your client and your design. Okay? There is no one good kitchen layout. It just depends. All right? Now, the biggest component inside a kitchen are the cabinets. Okay? They also can be the most expensive component inside your kitchen. Forget your Sub-Zero refrigerator at $7,000 or $8,000. Forget your whatever Wolf or whatever cooking appliances and all of that stuff, and your LG totally digital, synced up to my cell phone, Wi-Fi, TV, and dishwasher. Okay? None of that can compare to some high-end cabinets. Okay? So you need to understand cabinets. Basically, cabinets are going to be manufactured in what we call 3-inch increments. Okay? They start out at 9 inches, which is pretty small, and they go up from there. Now, when we're talking about cabinets, we'll talk about base cabinets and then wall cabinets. The base cabinets have basically 3 configurations. There's multiple configurations, but there's 3 standard ones. You've got what everybody considers as your standard is a drawer and door. Okay, so you got one drawer, and then a door, or 2 drawers. Everybody familiar with that? Yeah. Every one of us should have one of those in our kitchen. Second most common one is the drawer. Now, it can be in a 3-drawer, a 2-drawer, a 4-drawer. Okay, and those are all just drawers that pull out. Okay, and then the final one is a door, where it's just got doors to it. Okay? So, and then there are many different configurations. They've got lifts, they've got all kinds of crazy stuff that you can do, swings and whatever. Okay? But we're only concerned with the standard stuff. Okay? So any questions on that? So your 9-inch cabinet, you don't want to specify as a drawer door, because your drawer is only going to be about 4 inches wide. Okay? You cannot get a wooden spoon in a 4-inch wide drawer. Okay? It's 9 inches. By the time you take the 1 inch on either side for the cabinet, it's down to 6 inches. Then you take the next 2 inches for the base, and you're down to 4 inches, you know, for the size of the drawer. Take it from me. We put one in, and we all thought we were, like, what were we thinking? And we actually brought a Betty Crocker wooden spoon and tried to put it in that drawer, and it would not fit. Okay? So, if you're faced with a 9-inch cabinet, make it a door only, so you can at least slide in your baking pans. And it becomes useful then, because 6 inches, you can get a lot of baking pans in there. Okay? You can get 7 or 8 of them in there, versus a drawer and a door, which just serves no purpose. Okay? So everybody got that? And then they go up from there. All right? When you have your standard cabinet, which is what? What's the most common one?
Drawer and door.
Drawer and door, right. You're going to specify a shelf in that cabinet. If you do not, they will not give you one. Or worse yet, they won't drill it for one. Which means now you have a very big cavernous hole with 2 doors on it, or a door on it, and you really can put just one shelf of stuff. Which, unless you've got really tall cabinet, or really tall pots and pans, it's not going to be very useful. You need that shelf in there. Now, whether it's a 12-inch shelf, an 18-inch shelf, a 15-inch shelf, that you decide. And all that's going to do is determine how far out that's going to come from the base cabinet. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So, from there, basically, you're going to talk about what we call the carcass of our cabinet. Yes, it's called a carcass. I love that word. Okay? So, when we're building this thing, these are called rails that go horizontally, and then these are stiles going vertically. Okay? Now, this is a framed cabinet. And a couple of weeks ago, we talked about a frameless cabinet, which are these, where there is no frame to them. Okay? So there's no frame in here. Okay? So you got your frame right across here. Then you got your shelf, pre-drilled for holes. Okay? What do we call this thing?
Which one?
The whole thing.
We can't see it when you're pulling out.
Oh. Damn, I hate that. You can see it on the video now. What do you call this?
Carcass.
The carcass, right.
How do you spell
C-A-R-C-A-S. I think.
There's 2 S's.
2 S's. Sure, that.
That's one of my favorite words too.
I just think it's cool that they call a cabinet that we use to store cooking utensils a carcass. And all I think about are vultures picking apart a dead carcass.
I used it yesterday because we had crawfish, and I'm like, okay, so we need to get all of the crawfish carcasses off the table now, because it's exactly what they were.
That's just crazy. Now, the cabinets are put together with pocket holes, okay? They're angled holes that get drilled into the cabinet so we can sink the screws into it, okay? So basically, what we're looking at is the carcass is going to be this part right here. Oh, I guess I need to change over, don't I? Oh, this is going to not be fun. How do I want to do this? I'll keep going with what I got right now. Okay? See what happens. Now your wall cabinet basically made of the same stuff, rails and stiles, okay? And you're going to have 1 or 2 shelves in there. You decide that. Now, wall cabinets are 12 inches deep, okay, or 13 inches deep. Some of them are. And base cabinets are 24 inches deep, okay? When you come to a corner, you have what we call a blind corner. Did we talk about that? I vaguely remember us mentioning that. Okay, so we don't have to hit on that. Okay? If you flip the page there, you'll see the 2 cabinet structures, face frame and frameless. Now you've got 3 types of doors. You have what we call a full overlay, a half overlay, and an inset. So bring this up. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, there's a lot of pages to this, isn't there? There we go. Okay, so full overlay means the door itself goes to the cabinet frame. Okay, so it just looks like door, 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 door. Full overlay right there. Okay, half overlay is going to cover half of the frame. Okay, so you see a little bit of the frame in every cabinet. Does that make sense to everybody? And then inset is when the cabinet door is inset inside the frame. And then you see the whole frame. The easy one to remember is inset. It's getting the half overlay and the full overlay in your head straight. Okay? So we explain that. How many hinges do you need per door? This is a huge problem. Wrong. Depends. Okay? So, if you've got 9 to 11 pounds going in there, all right, your door height is up to 40 inches, you can get away with 2 hinges. Okay? If you got a pantry type system going in, or a 3/4 for a wall oven or something like that, then you're going to be either at 3 or 4 hinges. Each one of these hinges will allow you the weight. So if you've got a cabinet door that weighs 9 to 11 pounds, you can get away with a 2. Okay? If it's 60 inches tall, you can't get away with 2, even if it's only 9 to 11 pounds. It's too flimsy. Okay? And you're going to need that 3rd one in there. If your door starts to get up to the 13 to 20 pounds, that's usually when people start hanging stuff on it. Spice racks, pots, pans, wet diapers. I have no idea. Okay? So then you're going to need to start getting into the more hinge stuff. Good example of hinges that don't work is, anybody have the white cabinets? The white melamine ones? Okay? And has anybody had a hinge break on them? No? The rest of you yet? Oh, it's coming.
Oh,
right? When the door doesn't close all the way after that, and it just kind of hangs there and swings, that's because the weight of that door exceeds the 9 to 11 pounds. Okay? Or you're leaning on it, one of the 2.
No, to put too many drinks in there.
Put too many drinks in there. What? I don't want to. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I put drinks in my drawers in the cabinet.
She has a little shelf that hangs off the door. She's stacking them in there, right? No?
Like the door came out and I just placed drinks in the 2 drawers.
Oh, drawers. We're talking doors.
Oh, you're talking about the
Doors. So we're all like, what the heck?
Sorry, my drawers hinges broke. Okay.
Your drawer hinges. Yeah, that happens quite a bit too. All right. So now, where am I going with this? We should take a break, huh? All right, let's take a break. When we come back,